Number 7. Lucky number 7 on our best/favorite Zelda songs of all time. There's some controversy with this one. It's been a minute since we had some controversy.
I don't know. I feel like the last couple were controversial still.
It's one person's number 1 and nobody else voted for it.
I feel like every time Dave doesn't do his homework, it's controversy for me.
Yeah.
I always do my homework, sir.
This one isn't Dave's fault. He voted for this one.
Okay.
In fact, all 3 of the core members. I'm not saying you guys aren't important. Just, we're the 3 guy, right? We've been around since the start.
Until I see it. If it sucks, then I know who to blame.
We all voted for it. And in fact, as I told Shaun as we went off air last time, he voted for everything in the top 14, as it turned out. So he has no reason to complain about anything.
It's because my taste is the best.
Yeah. That was also with Great Fairy Fountain being his number 25. So, I mean, but it was there. It was there. It was there. Number 7 is only controversial because of reasons we talked about earlier in the list. It's the Zelda song. So it could have had more support if we had folded in Tall Tall Heights. It would have moved it up only 2 spots. It doesn't really make a difference. And again, different themes. I put this one in because it's Doug's number 3. So it's the version he talked about, and that's the one we're going to play. But you know this theme. It's the one that's for Zelda.
And this wraps in the Overworld theme from the original one too, right? Like this is the same type of
yes, the
mixture.
one that he made in a single night. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Which, man, it's just when you think of Zelda, it's this, right? Like you hear this song, you're like, oh yeah, yep, there's Zelda. If you go to any Zelda concert, I think they start out with this pretty much, or at least crescendo with it. It is definitely one that loops and does not get old at any point, any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure there's a few reasons why this is the case. Why everybody just loves Zelda. When I'm a kid and I'm playing it, and this is cool guy. I mean, he looks like a dork there, but he's a cool guy, and he's handsome, and he has a shield and sword, and he's fighting evil. And then this song kicks in, and I'm like, God, this just like captures everything of my imagination. It's so good. Like it plays a huge part, and this is kind of the song that I associate with that feeling when I'm young and falling in love with this series for the first time.
Do you get more of that feeling from the title screen version with the bass line, the doom 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 doom?
I don't.
Or do you prefer like the Overworld version where you're battling everything?
I think Overworld version. I don't really care. It's all great. I don't think the Overworld version is the first time I heard it. I played Link's Awakening was my first Zelda song. I don't know how much the song appears in that game. Maybe like in some weird. Yeah. I don't think it does.
Barely, and again, Tall Tall has that part of it, but it's not really the same.
Yeah, right. So I just love it, man. This is everything that's Zelda for me, and it's why it endures through the years. It's like this perfect package. I
don't know if we're gonna have any more original Zelda, so I've just got to just think about how awesome this was. And remember back being a kid playing this when my favorite games was Super Mario 3, where I restarted the game every single time. There was different music and it was good music there I went. But I played this game, this gold cartridge that you popped in, and it's like, wow, there is this massive adventure that I cannot believe how much I have to do. And when I want to turn it off and have to go eat dinner, I'll come right back to where I was.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. And just hearing this music again, you go through and they have the dungeon music, which is fantastic, the Death Mountain music, which is fantastic, and then this was the primary thing you heard, and it never got old. It never felt like I wasn't out there adventuring, finding new things. I love this.
Yeah, everybody's always humming along on this song.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels heroic. It feels triumphant. Now, 2 people didn't vote for this track, and while I don't normally like singling folks out, I'm just curious as to why, Michaela and Nick.
I don't know. There were other songs that I voted for, and it didn't quite make the cut. But I had it there at one point. It is very classic. I think there were just other songs I personally wanted to vote for more, but nothing against this track. It's fantastic. But I also think I might have had it covered on a different song, maybe. I don't remember. Either way,
that's my case. Yeah, I desperately, probably way too much, tried to avoid duplicating a theme, and to me, Tall Tall Heights was too similar, even though it is a little bit different. So that's my case. It does belong.
So there is some controversy after all.
I told you.
Wow.
This whole time I've been teasing it and not delivering, and now here we are.
Now I have to know: did you play this game, the original, as a kid?
No, I was too. Yeah, I was not.
Have you played it since?
Ask her if she's played the original.
Have you played the original? Period.
No, I have not played the original. I watched Shaun play the
Okay.
original, but I have not actually
Okay,
played it
well,
because I was too
you
young.
must now go get your Switch, sign a Nintendo Switch online, and
Uh-huh.
play this game. Just
Okay.
go do it. It
I
won't
mean,
take
with
you that
a
long.
guide.
It
You don't
won't
wanna play
take
with
that
a guide.
With a guide. With a guide, yes.
With a guide, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I remember watching him play it, and it seemed very, very challenging in spots. So yeah, definitely.
You mean when you're just throwing bombs at random rocks and throwing fire at random bushes the entire time? Yes, that sounds great.
Now, the only thing I'll say is like it. The reason the song, while it's so Zelda for me, the reason it's not like my number one vote is there's like a little bit of like a Mary Sue sort of quality. It's like too happy or something, too ideal, too idealistic to be like number one. But it's still great. But like to me, that's what my knock would be. Is like I'm listening to him in this car. It's like, yeah, I get it. He's this great hero. He has no flaws. Fine, but like still amazing. Michaela, this is an oversight. You have oversaw
Well,
this.
now to defend the people I put on the spot, the only other thing I'll say is I would have expected this to be on everyone's list if we were doing best, like straight up,
yeah, if we were
like we
doing
did for best games
Best,
ever.
totally, yeah.
But
no.
since it is favorites, I
Yeah.
did toy with the idea of not having it on because I figured it would get support elsewhere, and I'm like, it has to be on there. But it was not as high for me as it would have been if we were doing straight up best.
100%.
Yeah, but it still says a lot about you. You know, like best
Mm-hmm.
pets is like a puppy, and you put that on the best. But if you're like, yeah, but I wouldn't put a puppy on my favorite pets list. It's like that still says a lot about you. You know?
Is anybody able to tell which game this comes from?
This
I mean,
part
I
that
This
can,
you're
version?
listening to.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Is it
Go
the Symphony
ahead. And,
version?
you know.
It's Link Between Worlds.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this one is like the definitive overworld theme to be.
I think this
Because-
is the version I voted for then, actually. But
I
Yeah.
voted for Majora's Mask for what it's worth.
that also a good one.
That's probably my favorite. I recognize this one's great. There's a lot of really good ones, but I lumped them all together, obviously,
Was
because
this
it's
game not in Ocarina of Time?
this theme.
And then it was in Majora's Mask in the
That's
Overworld,
that's correct.
which
yes.
is why I was so like, oh my god, I love this.
There's a part of this song that is from Ocarina of Time. So
Correct. But this motif basically didn't appear in that game, which was kind of a bold decision, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every other game has had it in some form or another, but not OOT.